Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Let's begin today's daily quiz with question number 1 on your screen. Consider the following statements with regards to the International Criminal Code. Number 1. Governed by an international treaty called the Rome Statute, the ICC or the International Criminal Code is the world's first permanent international criminal code. Second, India is one of the founding members of the Rome Statute. Third, the ICC does not prosecute those under the age of 18 when a crime is committed. Which of these is incorrect? So you have to choose the incorrect statements out of the given 3. The correct answer thus is 2 only. The second statement is wrong since India in fact is not a signatory to the Rome Statute at all, along with other nations such as the US, China, etc. The first and the third statements are correct. The code was established under the Rome Statute and is the world's first permanent international criminal code and takes up cases such as crime against humanity, genocide, etc. The third statement also is correct. It does not prosecute anyone who is under the age of 18 years when the crime was committed. The reason why we are discussing this question is because a family of photojournalist Danish Siddiqui has appealed that the case of the killing of Danish Siddiqui should be taken up by the International Criminal Court. As you would know, in July 2021, Danish Siddiqui was killed in Afghanistan while covering the Taliban regime's takeover of Afghanistan. While he was injured in an attack, he was first taken to a mosque that was converted into a hospital, but the mosque itself was attacked by Taliban and that is why he had to lose his life. The family is also saying that the body of Danish Siddiqui had 12 points where the bullet had entered his body and has left his body, but there were no bullet marks on the bulletproof jacket that he was wearing. That is why it seems to be a conspiracy against his murder and it should be investigated by the international court. Question number 2. Consider the following statements with regards to biochemical oxygen demand, also known as the BOD. Number 1. The BOD is the amount of dissolved oxygen needed by the bacteria in decomposing the organic waste present in the water. Second, the higher value of BOD indicates better or purer quality of water. Third, since BOD is limited to biodegradable materials, it is not a reliable method of measuring water pollution. Which of these given statements is or are correct? The correct answer here is B. 1 and 3 are correct. The second statement is wrong because higher the value of BOD means lower is the quality of water. In simple terms, as the first statement tells you, BOD is the amount of oxygen required by the bacteria to decompose the organic waste in the water. That means the more oxygen that the bacteria is extracting from the water, the lesser will be the oxygen that will remain in the water. So lesser oxygen in the water means the quality of water will go down. The marine life will not be able to survive in the water, and that is why higher BOD means bad news for that water body. That is why first and the third statements are correct. The reason why we are discussing this question is because the Jal Shakti Ministry at the union government level has claimed that most of the Ganga river is now clean. According to them, the dissolved oxygen in the river is increasing, which means that the amount of oxygen that is required by bacteria now is declining over the past few years. The ministry has released certain facts comparing the reading of BOD, that is biochemical oxygen demand, from 2014 to 2021 and has said that there has been a significant improvement in the same. However, many experts still believe that the report is incomplete and that most parts of the river Ganga still remain extremely polluted. Next, question number 3. Which of the following crops are covered under the MSP, that is a minimum support price mechanism, by the Government of India? Raw jute, arhar dal, soybean, sunflower seeds and raw cotton. The correct answer here is D. All these are covered under the MSP regime, meaning that for all these the Government of India releases the MSP, which is a minimum support price, that is the price at which the government is ready to acquire these grains from the farmers, whoever are producing these. The reason why we are discussing this question is because the Government of India has increased the MSP for raw jute. The new MSP is now 250 rupees higher as compared to the last year. So for 2022-23 season, the MSP for raw jute has been fixed at 4,750 rupees per quintal, which is 250 rupees higher as compared to the last year. The government has said that we are following the principle of 1.5 times the cost of the farmer. So we are ensuring that the farmer gets a fair bit of profit out of this purchase if the Government of India buys from the farmer. As you would know, the MSP is based on the recommendations given by the Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices. Next, question number 4. No taxation without representation is a slogan which originated from which of the following events? French Revolution, American Civil War, the Russian Revolution, or the American Revolution? The correct answer here is D, American Revolution. As you would know, America, just like India, was ruled by the British, and during the American War of Independence against the British, the slogan of no taxation without representation became extremely famous. In simple terms, the idea was the Americans said that we will not pay any taxes to the British because we do not have any representation in the British Parliament. So if you want taxes from Americans also, make sure that people from America also represent the American interest in the British Parliament. Only then we would be willing to pay you taxes. That is why the slogan came up as no taxation without representation. The reason why we're discussing this question is because yesterday in the Parliament, where the government had to discuss the Jammu and Kashmir budget, the opposition members quoted the American lawyer James Otis, who first said taxation without representation is a tyranny. The demand of the opposition members here is that the J&K budget and any other discussion about J&K will only take place once the Legislative Assembly in the Union Territory is restored. So they are demanding immediate elections in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The opposition members said that in the entire Lok Sabha right now, we don't have any representation from Jammu and Kashmir. That is, the 4 members from Jammu and Kashmir are not in the house to discuss the budget. Then how can we discuss the budget that is specifically for Jammu and Kashmir in the absence of any representative from Jammu and Kashmir in the parliament right now? And that is why the budget could not be discussed in the parliamentary proceedings yesterday. Next, we have a previous year question from 2020. Among the following tiger reserves, which one has the largest area under critical tiger habitat? Corbett, Ranthambore, Nagarjun Sagar Sea Xylem, or the Sundarbans? The correct answer here is C, Nagarjun Sagar Sea Xylem, which is India's largest tiger reserves and is in the states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. This is an interesting question because whenever you talk about the tiger reserves in India, the more famous ones are Ranthambore or Jim Corbett. But the correct answer over here is C. The Nagarjun Sagar Sea Xylem Tiger Reserve is in fact the largest in the country. What do we mean by critical tiger habitat? That means a core area inside the tiger reserves. These are the ones that are called critical tiger habitat. These are identified under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. These areas must be kept safe for the purpose of tiger conservation, but it should not compromise on the rights of the scheduled tribes or people living in the forest in that particular area. Next, we have a fact of the day, and today we will be discussing about the hypersonic weapons. Now, hypersonic weapons are something that have been in the news over the past couple of years because every major power in the world, including China, US, Russia, and India also are working towards developing these new range of weapons called the hypersonic weapons. The other reason why it is in the news right now is because the Russian Defense Ministry spokesperson said that they use the hypersonic missile system to destroy a large underground warehouse having missiles and other ammunitions in Ukraine. The US president also confirmed that Russia has used hypersonic missile system in Ukraine in the ongoing war. Now, in very simple terms, any weapon that can fly at a speed of 5 Mach, that is 5 times the speed of sound or higher, is called a hypersonic weapon. Since they travel at extremely high speed, this means that it is extremely difficult for the radars or air defense systems to detect such weapons. And even if they do detect such weapons, such is the speed of these that it would be extremely difficult to intercept them. And that is why countries across the world are working to develop these kind of weapons now. They are capable of both maneuvering and flying faster than 5,000 kilometers per hour, which makes them an extremely major threat for the opposite side. Now, last month in the international media, there was a report that China also in fact has tested a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile in August 2021. However, China said that their hypersonic missile is not nuclear capable. However, it is very difficult to trust these kind of news coming in from China. When it comes to US, they have been the pioneers of this technology. In fact, the US has been testing their hypersonic weapons for many decades now. In fact, the first vehicle from the US to exceed the 5 Mach barrier was a 2-stage rocket in 1949, which reached a speed of 6.7 Mach under a project called the Project Bumper. So US is the worldwide leader when it comes to developing the hypersonic technology. However, the problem with the US project is, unlike Russia or China, their hypersonic weapons are not nuclear capable. And now they seem to be lagging behind because Russia and China have been focusing on making their hypersonic weapons nuclear capable. Now, the most relevant part for us is, what is India's stand right now? Do we have hypersonic weapons or not? Now, recently, there was a Congressional Research Service, that is a report that was prepared in the American Parliament. That report said that apart from US, Russia, and China that already have the hypersonic weapons, there are some other countries also like Australia, India, France, Germany, and Japan that are quickly developing their hypersonic weapons technology. In fact, India right now operates about 12 hypersonic wind tunnels, which are capable of testing these weapons up to a speed of 13 Mach. So India seems to be on its way to develop this technology much sooner than anticipated. Since the DRDO has already demonstrated the scramjet engine technology, the hypersonic technology would not be very far behind. A hypersonic version of the BrahMos supersonic missile is also under development as per multiple reports. This is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.